Hello everyone and welcome back to the JRPG series. In the last episodes we've been working on the end scene of our combat, showing the victory fanfare and reward screen UI. In this episode we're going to show the XP the players earned through the combat and showing it on the screen via a counter. So let's just get started. So for our XP system we're going to set up a few variables and a few functions. So let's start off with the combat component. So in here we've got unit level, and we're going to add, accompany that, we're going to have XP current, how much XP do they currently have in the current level, and this will be an integer. And we're going to add another variable, this will be XP required, which is how much XP they need to level up. I then want to go into the functions, and we're going to add a new function here to reward XP, and that will be one integer as a parameter, which will be the amount of XP we want to send over to the player. We're going to have another function for level up, and level up is going to handling obviously the increase of the level, and then updating everything else that needs to be updated. So that will do for now. We're then going to go to our game mode, and our game mode is going to store how much XP is to be rewarded to the player. And the way it's going to work is that when we finish the victory, finish the battle and enter the victory screen, we're then going to start a timer which will send over a fraction of the XP every tick or every second, so that the bars will then increase over time and level up the player and so forth. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to the event graph, and we need to calculate how much XP we want to do. So on the variables here, we'll put in XP reward, and we're going to go and change that to an integer. But how are we going to calculate XP reward? Well, let's take it from the actual enemy classes that we're spawning in. So we're going to go and get on a unit base a new variable on here, and we'll put this in as XP worth. So how much XP is this character worth to be killed? Hit compile, and we'll put in 100 for default. Okay, so I go back to the game mode, and on begin play we're going to make a function to call at the end here to calculate that XP reward. So we're going to do calculate XP reward. And what we're going to do here is we're going to take all the enemy units, get those, and then from there we're going to do a for each loop. And for each one we're going to take the XP worth and we're going to add it to a local variable. The local variable is going to keep track of how much we're counting up so far. So lock underscore XP count. I'm going to take that out, and I'm going to plus the XP worth onto it. Okay, and loop body is going to keep doing that and that and that, and set it to the lock there. Once it reaches the end of the for each loop, we're then going to do a set here for the XP reward, and we're going to plug in that local variable, just kept track of how much XP is there. And that will handle that. Let's put that onto the graph. So calculate XP reward. Put that on the end here. Okay. Now we've got the XP reward that we're going to reward the player at the end. We now want to go to the show victory screen. And on here we're going to stay a function. So here we're going to do set timer by function name. And our function name is going to be award XP. And award XP is a new function, award XP. And in here we need to know how much we want to award. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the XP reward value, and I'm going to divide this by a fixed amount. Okay, so divide that by int, and I'm going to divide it, say, by 30. Okay, that will mean it's going to take the whatever the reward is and divide it by 30, and that will be how much it's going to send every tick or so. So now I need to give this to each player character. Now I've got two options. I can make it so it rewards it to everyone, regardless of whether or not they're alive or dead, or I can only give it to those who are alive. So if I want to give it to those who are just alive, I can just use this party units array with a for each loop. Alternatively, if I want to give it to everyone, regardless of their health, I'm going to get all actors of class, and we're going to give it the class for the party unit base, and then do a for each loop on the out actors here. So I go through each character there, and from there we're going to get their combat component, and we're going to reward XP and plug that into the body. In the XP we want to reward here is the amount into XP. Okay. So then we're going to go back to the show victory and set a time here. We make this quite short. We'll go like 0.2 for example. So every 20th, every 20th of every 5th of a second, it's going to call this reward XP and send it over to each player. I want that to be looping. Now the return value, take out and promote that to a variable, and this would be the XP reward timer, and that's it. So there's one thing we need to worry about here, is that okay, that's turning on the timer to reward the XP. How do we know when to stop it? Well, what we need to do is make it so it takes away from the XP reward, and whilst it's giving it to the players, and that when that becomes lower than the amount, then we want it to stop the timer. At the moment though, we can't do that, because what we're doing here is we're taking the current XP reward, dividing it by 30, and then sending that across. So as the XP reward gets smaller, so will the reward. It'll just take a long time to get there. So we want this to be constant value. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that from there, go to show victory, and at the end here, I'm going to put this in and promote this to a variable. And this variable is going to be the XP reward per tick, we'll call it. Even though it's not really a tick, it's a timer tick, but we'll put that in there. So we pre-calculate how much we're going to give them per timer call. But then on the award XP, we drag that out, get, and here we need to check to see if the amount we're going to give is less than or invalid to the amount of XP reward in total. So XP reward, because it's going to get lower, if let's say for example we're planning on rewarding them 30 XP, but we've only got 15 left, we only want to give them 15, not 30. So XP reward, I'm going to check if that is less than the XP reward per tick, and from the XP here we do select int, and this will go into the pick A. So if this is true and XP reward that's left remaining is less than the amount that we require, then what we're going to do is choose A. In that case, we want to take the XP reward and send that across. If it's false, we're going to choose B, which is going to be XP reward per tick. And that'll go through there. So that's giving the XP to the player characters. Then on completed here, we need to clear the XP amount that we've given them from the XP reward. So we're going to take XP reward here and do minus, and we're going to take away this value here, and then drag XP reward out and choose set and plug that in, and then put that into the completed of the for each loop. At the end, it will recalculate how much XP has been removed and is left. Now if this number here is less than or equal to 0, then we want to stop the timer. So we'll put that in there, and we'll do drag the timer out and clear and invalidate timer by handle. Plug that in. Okay, so that'll do us for here. Next we're going to go over to our combat component and set up the functions here for reward XP. So reward XP, we're going to add this to XP current. So get XP current, do plus that integer there, and if this number is greater than or equal to the XP required, we are going to put that into a branch. And if it's true, we're going to do level up. We'll drag out level up and plug that into true. Otherwise, we're going to set XP current here. Actually, no, we should put this before the branch. Just put that in here and plug XP current into there. There you go. So if it's false, they don't do nothing and just keep on going up and up and up. So level up will happen. Let's go to level up. And in level up, we're going to take the XP, the unit level and increment it. And set that back to itself. So you got 1 level. That'll do for now on that. I'm back to in a minute. So on the reward XP, once we call level up, we then want to set the XP current to whatever's remaining. The XP current there becomes equal to XP current here modulo, which is the percentage sign, is there, and put in XP required. And what it'll do is it will divide it by XP required and then give us whatever's remaining, therefore the leftovers. We can put that into XP current there. File and save. Okay, that looks quite good there. Excellent. We're then going to go to the level up function and we're going to make an event dispatcher on here. And this is going to be called leveled up. But later on, we're going to tell our UI to react to us leveling up. So let's take that out and do call. There. Compile, save. Okay, so that's pretty much done there. I'm quite happy with that. So next we can go back to our UI for our victory screen. And in here, we're looking at the victory screen unit slot. And here it is. So at the moment, this is all placeholder stuff, nothing special. What we're going to do is we're going to set it up to show various things. So we've got the unit that we require here, which is good. But then I want to be able to change some things on here. So like the level here and these numbers here too. So level, we're going to make that as variable. And we'll call this one level display text. This one here we'll put as current level text. And this will be next level text. And make that variable as well. Both of those to be variable. And then go to the graph. We're then going to take out our unit, a level display text. And do set text. And from here, we're going to drag out and do a format text. And the format text is going to be pretty simple. All we're going to do here is LVL dot space curly bracket and then put level and then close curly bracket. When you hit enter, you get the little parameter come up, and that'll be the unit level from the combat component of the unit. So get the combat component and get the unit level. Plug that into there. We then want to use that to also set the current level text. So set text. Plug that in. And that'll be the same number, so that'll go over to there. So we just got to do next level. And that's going to be set text. Plug that in. And this is going to be this unit level plus 1. File, save. So that's that happening there. We then want to change the progress bar's percentage based upon the unit's level state, XP status. So on the designer view here, make sure you've got your progress bar here named and is variable. So this will be XP progress bar, and then we're going to go to the graph like that. And this is happening on tick, so we want this to always check to see what the XP status is of the player as they level up and gain their rewards. So here we're going to drag out the unit and I'm going to get the XP current. Apologies, this is from the combat component, so get the combat component. And then we're going to get the XP current, and also get XP required. And then we're going to do XP current normalized. Oh, sorry, this has to be to float first. To float. Then from there, normalize to range. And the range max is going to be the XP required. This number will go into our progress bar. So we drag out our XP progress bar, set %, and we'll plug that in like there. Then we go into that into tick. Compile and save that. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to bind that level up on here. So on the construct event, we're going to take the unit out, get, and then we're going to bind to leveled, bind event on leveled. Apologies, this will be on their combat component. Leveled up, bind event, and put that in there. And now we'll just make it a custom event, and we'll call this one leveled up, and we'll just put a print string on there for now. So now we need to bind our level up to this as well. So we're going to take our unit out, and from there get our combat component, and we're going to do our bind event to leveled up. Plug this in, and then we're going to drag this down and do a custom event. I call this one leveled up. And for this, we'll just put print string in for now. That'll do. And the last thing we're going to do on this screen here is I'm going to change the unit here to a get. So I'm going to right click convert to validated get and plug that into the construct and to the update card. And this valid will go across like so. That way that will resolve any errors that don't have the unit set up correctly yet. Hit compile and save that. And last thing we need to do here is to make sure that the combat component, we've set the XP required here to some value. I've set to 1000. And just to show a little bit difference as well, I'm going to set one of my characters' level to be one higher. So we go to character, we'll go to Faye, and we'll edit her combat component. And we're going to set the XP required for her to be, let's say 1300, and her level is going to be 2. Okay, we hit compile and save that, and let's test this out in game. So let's just kill these characters. Now she went first because her haste is now higher than everyone else's because she's leveled up. Remember, it's looking at a base table, isn't it? And her attack is obviously a lot higher. Taking him down. And then we go to final character. And not dead yet. Have to wait for him to finish his turn. So we still need to fix the enemy stun by looks of it. His animation's not really working. That's fine. We can get back to that later. So just testing the final victory screen. We should see text bars come up with progress bars moving along. Here they are. And you can see that Gideon and Greystone are further ahead because they have less required XP. And hers is going from 2 to 3, theirs going to 1 to 2, and so forth. Okay. Excellent. So all I want to do now is bind the XP gained here to the number that we've earned for our game mode. So we're going to go to our game mode, and not game mode, sorry, to our UI victory screen widget. And we're going to click on the XP gained. Click on this, and we're going to do XP gained text and make that variable. And in the graph here, we're going on the construct, or it doesn't really matter, construct or pre-construct. We're going to get the game mode, And we're going to cast to our battle game mode. And then from there, I can get the XP amount. So we get XP reward. And like so. And then on here, we also want to tell this to set the XP gain text. Set text. Change the text value inside our widget. And for this, we're going to do a format text. Now, we're doing format text because we need to show something else other than just the number. So here, we're going to do EXP gained, colon, curly bracket, XP, close curly bracket, and enter, disappear. I'm just going to plug that into there. Okay. But we do need to make a binding to this because we do need to call this again so that we can update it as the XP reward is going down. So on the XP battle game mode here, we're going to make a binding based on the game mode. Let's go to the game mode, and we'll call this one on the event dispatchers update UI. And when we award the XP, we go down here to take it off the reward here. We're going to take update UI and call it, plugging it in there. Like so. We then want to go to our victory screen, and on here we're going to do a binding. So we're going to do bind event on updates UI. Plug this in, and on here we're going to do another custom event, and we'll call this one update UI. And for this, it's going to be basically a carbon copy of what you see here. Now, rather than doing the cast every time, we can just promote that to a variable, make it a bit easier for us. So, there. And we can plug that into there too. And on update UI then, I can just use that game mode reference. And I can then do all this stuff here. So I'm going to copy this and paste it into this function here, and plug in the game mode into there, and that's it. So compile and save that. So as the UI updates, that too will also update on the character. Okay. Also, when we go to show victory screen, we want to hide our battle HUD. So we're going to take out our show victory screen here. We're going to take out our battle HUD and do remove from parent. I'll save that, and now let's test this in game. So you can see the value of the XP gained going down now, and these going up. And it stops at 0. And we can see the HUD has disappeared as well. And there we have it. That is the end of this episode. We've now got our UI showing on the screen and the XP the players earned. In the next episode, we're going to show what happens when the XP has fulfilled that bar of each character and levels them up with a nice level up animation. You can watch the next episode right now over on patreon.com/RyanLady, where you can catch all my videos early before everyone else from just $1 a month. Massive thank you to all of my Patreon members and YouTube members for their continued support. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.